Hey, good evening. It's NutBallCop again. Um, I think we're living under a tsunami of bullshit. Okay. I've already written 3 essays about the rapture on my old website. I wrote repeatedly about this because this shit keeps happening. Every idiot in the country now thinks the world's ending tomorrow morning. Okay. How many times does the world have to end, but not before you stop being stupid little children? Okay. Yeah. Judy, you family. Yeah. Anybody with half a brain should be sick and tired of this. We had a thing in the Bay Area. This happened twice with the same dude, a right wing wacko religious radio host. He ruined hundreds of people's lives a few years back. Okay. Everybody was cashing out their life savings and buying billboards everywhere you drove from frickin' Monterey County all the way up to Sacramento. Okay. The world is ending on this and such date. The world is ending. Bullshit. Okay. The rapture is not in the Bible. If you don't believe me, I'm not a religious scholar. I looked this all up. I wrote multiple essays on it. I know what I'm talking about. But if you don't believe me, go watch Dan McCullen, the religious scholar, on YouTube. Okay. I wrote about this so many times. It's infuriating. Okay. One, the rapture is not in the Bible. The rapture was made up by John Darby, an English preacher in the late 1820s, early 1830s. Okay, this is 19th century England. If you think 19th century England is the time of Jesus and the apostles, you're a fucking idiot. Okay? He was talking to a Scottish girl having epileptic seizures he called visions. And he just took an amalgam of stories from cultural references in the Bible and mythology, and he just amalgamated it all together. Okay. And he called it the rapture. Why? Because it's the P.T. Barnum bullshit again. Okay. There's a sucker born every minute. Okay. The Bay Area radio guy proved that. He ruined hundreds of people twice before that guy croaked and stopped claiming the world was going to end. The world ain't going anywhere. I've been studying physics since I was in high school. Okay. I'm not a physicist, but I love physics. I read about it. I watch documentaries. I have a small library of physics books, including some big ones like Advanced Theoretical Physics, Gravitation by Wheeler, Thorne, and Meissner. Um, uh, I buy Dr. Becky's book, The Cosmologist, read her books. I just love physics. Okay. I'm going to tell you when the Earth's going to go away, according to physics. Okay. When the sun runs out of hydrogen fuel a couple of billion years from now, it's going to expand into a red giant. And that red giant expansion of our star, when it stops being a medium green yellow star and goes into a big inflated red giant, the red giant's going to suck up at least Mercury, Venus, and Earth, possibly Mars. Okay. Because the surface of the star is just going to expand as it turns from the very stable star it is now to a star that's ran out of its main fuel. Okay. The Earth will be burned by a cinder billions of years from now by an expanding red giant star. Okay. The rapture isn't real. The end of the world isn't real. The Mayan calendar never said that 2012 was the end of the Earth. Every single end of the world stupidity that's ever been put out has proven to be absolutely false. So why are we doing this again today? I'm seeing videos of people on their knees crying, begging for salvation. Okay? Nothing's going to happen. Okay? It didn't happen twice with the Bay Area radio crank. So stop it. Stop being ignorant. Okay. And the tsunami of bullshit isn't just this reboot of the rapture because, oh, we got to get the unaware all excited every couple of years thinking the world's going to blow up. Okay. Which is freaking ridiculous. I mean, it's so stupid. Okay. They get on TV today, dear leader porn star Humper and Brainworm, to tell us Tylenol is the source of autism. I thought it was vaccine, shithead. Now it's Tylenol. Neither vaccines cause autism. I listened to Dr. Andrea Love and a whole bunch of other doctors like Dr. Rubin and many, many others who actually are MDs and MPHs. Okay. I listened to Dr. Peter Hotez from down in Texas. Him and his research partner, they build vaccines and open source license them to the world. Okay. I'll trust Dr. Love, or I will trust Dr. Rubin, or I will trust Dr. Hotez long before I trust a guy who's mentally ill with a brain worm in his fucking head and a convicted felon trying to stay out of prison. Okay. That's why they did the road show today. That's why the tsunami of bullshit happened today. Okay. The tsunami of bullshit was, we need to lie to you because dear leader is still afraid of ending up in a federal prison for all the crime and shit he's done. Up to and including the Epstein files. Okay. So we're going to lie to mothers. I saw an OBGYN on the internet today, so upset, tears in her eyes. You're going to kill women. You're going to give them misinformation. You're going to take away their health cares. You're going to send police tanks. I wrote essays about this. The reason the Dobbs systems was passed had nothing to do with babies or abortion. It was a means to more authoritarian control. That gives them permission to show up at a Planned Parenthood or a public hospital in a police tank and start taking hostages or worse. Okay? There's zero truth from every single doctor I read today, every article on every wire service like AP and Reuters. There is no scientific link between Tylenol in pregnant women and autism. It's the equal amount of evidence that shows that vaccines with mercury in them, okay, there hasn't been mercury of any type in vaccines for 15 years. Yet Robert Kennedy today is still complaining about mercury. Okay, that's what a lying shithead he is, and a con artist. Okay, he has got this crazy look at me thing that is totally 5150. Robert Kennedy Jr. is insane. You should not be taking medical advice from an insane person with a brain worm and a conspiracy theory. This is bullshit. Oh, why did they jump out? Because they got to change the news cycle. Remember when Bubba Clinton threw cruise missiles into a baby food factory in Somalia and called it anti-terrorism? Tom Holland just got caught on video taking a bribe from undercover FBI agents. Hey, we did that shit in CID too. That's how we found weapons traffickers, drug dealers, and corrupt military contractors and everything else. Okay, it's a common law enforcement practice. They nailed Holland to the ever-loving cross. Their response? Tylenol causes autism. Oh, that's a distraction from Holland taking a bribe of $50,000 on camera in an FBI sting. Okay, that's a great distraction. No, I'm not distracted. Tom Holland still took $50,000 in bribes. The Epstein files are being suppressed and concealed because politicians and wealthy people are on that list. They're guilty of raping little girls. We found the groomer. They're all in the Epstein list, not at Comet Pizza in Washington, D.C. Remember the Comet Pizza story? The guy shows up in an AM-10, starts shooting rounds in the ceiling, demanding to see the basement that doesn't exist. We found your groomers, assholes. They're on the Epstein list. And the same people trying to hide the Epstein list are the ones in the Epstein list. But Tylenol causes autism. The rapture is tomorrow morning. It's like I'm living with ignorant children in charge. Ignorant children with head injuries on crack. Okay? Don't believe this horse shit for a second. Don't believe the distractions. They're just distractions. Okay? There's no truth coming out of the CDC or the HHS with fucking brainworm in charge. Trump is a serial narcissistic liar who can't speak truth if you literally tied him down and gave him truth serum. He would still lie to you. Okay? This stuff is really grating on me. I mean, you got to be kidding me. You snatch up cancer patients, U.S. citizens, or medical guests in this country legally here for medical care, and you treat them like they're serial killers or the groomers you're hiding in the list. Okay? So you attack a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old cancer patient trying to get medical treatment in the United States. That's your distraction. Really? The only good news I have for today is, boy, some of these focus groups for Latinos, who are a big, powerful voting group since W, almost just like the white boys, they did the focus groups I talked about a couple of weeks ago. The Latino groups, one dude is still hardcore right wing. In fact, one Latino says, I don't care if they increase it tenfold. He's doing a wonderful job beating the shit out of every Latino because they're brown and they have an accent. This is a Latino man happy that the government is abusing his own. Okay. Every other Latino on the panel is like, you said criminals and you said the border. Now you're invading my kid's school and ripping kids out of algebra class. How the fuck is that arresting criminals? So that voting bloc is waking up fast, okay? So the midterms, this isn't going to be pretty for the GOP, okay? And a lot of the speculations and kind of the quasi reports that are on the internet saying, hey, he's going to seize control of the midterms. You should be very concerned about that. He will try to seize control of the midterms. Trump and Bondi, okay, and Patel will try to seize control of local elections. That's almost guaranteed in my mind. Okay. But Tylenol causes autism. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. The big, beautiful bill screws over working American families. It offers us nothing but less services locally, especially if you're a red rural county in the Midwest. Okay. You will be destroyed first in Nebraska, Arkansas, Oklahoma, rural Indiana. And I already said this. I was just there. I was just in Nebraska. I was just in Indiana. Okay. Everybody I ran into, nice people. Okay. I don't have an axe to grind with anybody. Okay. Unless you show me a reason to have a problem. Okay. I don't want any harm to come to those Indiana farmers. You know, I just stayed at a friend's house in Indiana out in the woods. The place is so beautiful. I loved it. I could literally live there. It's so beautiful. Okay. But what do you do when the government is out to destroy Indiana's economy? Because they don't give a shit. If you think they're just coming after California or Massachusetts or Illinois, bullshit. Bullshit. You think they're only going to go after Latinos? Bullshit. They will not stop. Whatever distraction is necessary to push their nationalist agenda, they're going to do. Why? Because every dictator of the 20th century did it. Okay? I read off the list all the time. You all know it. Steve, you know it. You've been here. Okay? Huksa, Ceausescu, Hussein, Idi Amin, Gaddafi. Okay? These all should be ringing bells. The Marcos in the Philippines. These all should be ringing bells. Because the Trump regime is doing the same fucking thing. Okay? The rapture is bullshit. Tylenol causing autism is bullshit. We're being invaded is bullshit. Okay? We're not being invaded by Latinos. Okay? They fucking live here and they've been living here for as long as America's been here. Okay? Stop being stupid. Okay, what we're being invaded by are a bunch of proud babies in battle jammies doing illegal, unconstitutional arrest and literally doing sweeps based on race. If I ever did that as an Army MP sergeant, I ever did that on patrol, I would have been in trouble. You cannot target people by race. Okay? But again, Dear Leader Pornstar Humper has the Supreme Court in his back pocket. They approved racial profiling specifically against Latinos. Simply being brown skinned and having an accent and standing in the vicinity of a farm or Home Depot is now probable cause. Probable cause to what? Well, we've already proven what it's probable cause to. Snatching up Americans, snatching up legal residents. Okay? because this is not an immigration policy. This is an animus and grievance policy that has nothing at all to do with law enforcement. Go read the Pelian principles of law enforcement. I had a long conversation. I couldn't sleep. I took a medicine late. The surgery pain was back. And of course, medicine kept me awake and not put me asleep. I had kind of an opposite effect last night. So I was talking to Sal 9000, ChatGPT 5.0, and I going like, okay, where are they getting all this? How does any of these activities in these immigration sweeps follow Pelian principles? Well, Sal responded, it's actually not just in violation of the Pelian principles of law enforcement, they're literally shredding them. First Pelian principle, the police aren't supposed to be the military. We're not supposed to be using military force for everything. That's rule fucking number one. Now, here's what pisses me off about assholes like Bondi, Patel, Bongino, and the rest of the clown show, rest of the Nazi clown show. What theory has replaced Sir Robert Peel's theory? Or are you just pulling this straight out of your ass? It's the latter. You're just pulling it straight out of your ass. Stephen says, Kavanaugh called it common sense, which tells you everything you need to know about right-wing assholes. You are 100% correct. Skin color is not probable cause. A description of the suspect is probable cause. Okay, it used to piss me off in Central California when somebody went out, generic Hispanic male, 21 to 24. Okay, yeah, there's only 28,000 of those in our county. You want to get more specific, asshole? What was he wearing? Did he have any jewelry on? Was he wearing a hat, a baseball cap, a cowboy hat? Was he wearing sneakers or cowboy boots? Okay. Was he dressed nicely or was he dressed more like a worker? Okay. They used to put bolos out there. My wife was a dispatcher for a while. She pissed her off too. Generic Hispanic male, 21, 5'7", 135 pounds. Oh yeah, that narrows it down in this county, moron. So yeah, Stephen, the quote. Thank you. Kavanaugh is absolutely full of shit. How about we just say anybody last name with Kavanaugh is probable cause to throw them into a black site in Louisiana? That makes equal sense to what he approved. And I know you're right. Why did they approve it? Because they're all far right wing nationalists, theocratic nationalists, and accelerationists. None of these clowns are conservative. Conservatives believe in institutions. I wrote this in my Kirk essay. Okay. And I dare, like the one video I saw today, Kirk died for our sins. Now he's Jesus? I thought Trump was your Jesus. I thought Laura Loomer was your Mary Magdalene. Okay? Your Judas is Mike Pence. You've already created this whole, let's put our people in the biblical story. You spent 5 years of 2 terms building that falsehood. How Trump is your savior. He is your new Jesus. Now it's Kirk? Get the fuck out of here. You guys have mental problems. You have a screw loose. You know, and even though I'm a hardcore atheist, there is no God, there are no angels, there are no ghosts. The world isn't going to be raptured. We're going to burn up in a fucking red star expansion. Okay? We live in a maelstrom of chaos in the universe. That's the best explanation we got. And we should spend all our time, like the great comedian Bill Hicks said, we should be spending all time and money exploring outer space and inner space, not believing in bullshit like this. Because now Kirk is their Jesus. And I try to give people, like I have friends who are very religious. Like one of my best friends is not a temple Jewish guy, but he's a very faithful Jewish guy nonetheless. He said holiday prayers in my house during the holiday. Okay, because he was over for dinner. He goes, "Oh, it's time to say prayers." I go, "Dude, you do your thing, right?" Okay. I have family members that are religious. Hey, where's the nearest church? I go, yeah, there's one down there, but I wouldn't go there because that pastor's kind of weird. But there's one over in the next town over. It's a nice looking cathedral. It's supposed to have a nice congregation. Hey, it's not my thing, but my dad or somebody else in my family wants to go to church. I'll point it out to them. Sure, you know. I said, you want to see a cool historic church? Well, get your ass in a car and drive over to the city and go to the mission church. It's one of the missions of original California. Okay. Or go down the other one, go to the mission, the mission section in the South Bay, on Mission Avenue, Mission Boulevard, and go to that church because that's a cool historical church too. Okay. I'm a freedom of thought guy. Okay. That's the one thing I think Madison got wrong in the First Amendment. He didn't include freedom of thought. So I try to give a big leeway to religious people, even though I am a strict non believer. But if you're going to make up shit based on religion that the rapture is coming and Charles Kirk is your Jesus, I'm going to call bullshit. Okay. Because one thing is, nobody in the far right, and again, don't take my word, go watch Dan McCullen. He has actually PhDs in this shit. Okay. There, there's no connection to what you talk about in the teachings. It's like, I love uber religious people, and I get into funny conversations, sometimes a little bit of an argument at bars and party because somebody will start claiming how America is so religious and all these leaders in the right wing movement since Reagan are all these religious people. I'm going, okay, map your bullshit into the Sermon on the Mount, Matthew 5. Yes, I'm an atheist who's actually read the Bible, parts of the Quran, and parts of the Torah. Okay, because it's just literature. Okay, I like reading. Okay, yes, I read advanced theoretical physics. I read law. I read data engineering and data science articles. Yeah, and I've also read religious texts. Okay, I'm pretty fascinated about religious history because, damn, you built some great architecture through religion. I got to give you that. Okay, I was just up in Marin County and I saw the old church in Marin. That's pretty cool. Okay, but I don't believe any of the hokum. I don't believe in any of the voodoo. Okay. If you need a safe place to go meditate and feel better about yourself and maybe build a little community, hey, cool. Because the community part, I'm down with. We got a local non-denominational church down the hill we use as meeting space for our 4-H clubs and youth groups and all that kind of stuff. And they rent it to us knowing we're secular. Okay. Because they built a church that doesn't look like a church because they said they wanted to be part of the community regardless of your religious affiliation. And they're very religious at the place. My neighbor's wife unfortunately died of cancer. The memorial was at that church. The pastor is kind of brimstone kind of guy. He's not my kind of guy. Um, uh, but they're not like mean or crazy or anything. Okay, and they want to be part of our town, our community. So I'm okay with that. That part of you doing your own thing, you building a community, I don't have any problem at that level with organized religion. But if you're going to literally tell me you're going to turn people crazy, telling them they have to abide by political dogma because we're going to lie to you about what's in the Bible, while again, having no relation in your actions to the Sermon on the Mount. Okay. It's like nobody in the far right movement past 2000 understands the book of Matthew. It's insane. Oh, but we got to hang tough. The polling is shifting a little bit. The focus groups are shifting a little bit. There's some light here, not just at the end of the tunnel, but in the tunnel. Okay. People aren't waking up to enough to make me, like, I guess, calm down a little bit because I'm still very worried. But you can see that one, there's a civil war going on inside MAGA. Okay. And a lot of national movements of self-destruct because, they just become splinter groups and they get more pissed off at each other than they do with their original gripes. They are not, there's no relation. I guess my main point is there's no relation to what they're doing and what they're saying in public to what is actually the teachings of Jesus Christ. And I don't care whose interpretation of it. You can have an evangelical. I was raised Catholic. hung out a lot with the Jesuit order. I had Jesuit tutors when I was in high school. Totally groovy guys. Loved them. Helped me out. Learned a lot from them because we had a college. We had a seminary in our town in New England, and I was an advanced student, so my mom would drop me off, and I'd hang out with the friars, and they teach me, and it was great. Okay, I'm not like anti the people surrounding. I actually like Jesuits. Okay, I never met a mean Buddhist. Okay, I'm friends with devout Jewish people. Okay, my landlord and neighborhood friend when I first moved here is Muslim. Okay, I don't have a problem with the people. I have a problem with the fucking dogma and bullshit you apply to politics. Now you want your political life to be dogma too. That's where I draw a fucking line. Okay. I said this was going to be quick, so I just want to mention, hey, I'm not a fan of Kimmel. Okay, never watch his show. Okay, I think the only thing I watch of his show is when his kid was sick, and I watched some YouTube clips of his monologues where he was upset because his kid was in trouble. Um, and I just found it an interesting story, and I felt bad for the Kimmel family. I mean, I was crippled as a child. I was kind of a burden on my parents. I spent a lot of time in the hospital, so I can imagine the stress that Kimmel and his wife were going through. But yeah, I'm never a regular watcher. No, I'm not even a clip watcher. Like I'm always watching clips of Colbert, um, Stewart, and a couple other people on YouTube. Never watched Kimmel. But tomorrow night, when he returns on Tuesday night, you need to get every one of your family and friends in front of a TV, hit that DVR feature on your service, whether it's cable or streaming or whatever, YouTube TV or whatever, and we need to flood the ratings. Because, hey, I'm not going to be a fan of Kimmel's show. Okay? I never once asked for the government to take him off the air like Carr did. That's fucking East German Stasi bullshit right there. Okay? Carr needs to shut his fucking mouth and stop being a Nazi twat. Okay? Everybody that's awake has shift work. If you have shift work, you can't be there. Boom, record it on your DVR. Pump the numbers up tomorrow night. I will literally be sitting in front of the TV with a small bowl of popcorn and a Diet Ginger Ale, waiting for Kimmel to come on, just because the point of it. Okay, I am a free speech maniac. Okay, I never said take Rush Limbaugh off the air. I never said take Alex Jones off the air. Now, if they say something stupid, cruel, or slanderous or libelous, hey, you're welcome to sue them, and they did. Okay, I never said take Kirk down. Okay, I just said Kirk's an asshole. Doesn't know what his asshole from his elbow. Okay, he's a douchebag, a dumb douchebag. Never once said the government should censor him. Why? Because that gives me East German Stasi nightmares, flashbacks that turn into nightmares. Okay, I don't like censorship at all. So, in support of free speech, maybe not even in support of Jimmy Kimmel, but in free. And if you believe in the First Amendment, if you believe in America, if you believe in the Constitution, you and all your friends will be watching Kimmel's return tomorrow night, because I will be doing it just to fuck with Dear Leader Pornstar Humper. I want to see those numbers go ballistic through the roof. Okay? It's our only pushback right now. The court's against us. The court is an anti-American, hostile against Americans. The Senate and the House are completely hostile to Americans. The White House has declared war inside the United States. And the war they declared, they want to amp it up. Several reports. They're now stockpiling armored cars in the DHS to invade cities. Okay? You want to send a message that we're still a free country? Start with the First Amendment. Seriously. Okay? We'll be back on soon. Until next time, think about it.